Hi, Carol Ann here with Sacred Space School of Yoga and Yoga with Carol Ann. Today's practice begins with some very wonderful breath work, followed by warm up in the joints, working into the muscles and long hold postures, and then finishing with some restorative positions. So for the restorative positions, I have two blocks. I'm sitting on one, and there's another one over here, and then I have a bolster back here. So if you have two blocks and a bolster, go ahead and grab those. If you don't have a bolster, then a good thick pillow will also work. So sitting up nice and tall, rolling the shoulders back, getting a tall spine, open energy. Bring the hands into prayer position, opening with mantra followed by 3 ohms, and please feel free to join in on any of the mantra that you are familiar with. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Punaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In breath. Release, let the eyes flutter open. Beginning with Nadi Shodhana, make a fist, releasing your thumb and ring and pinky finger. Breathe in fully through the nose, out through the nose. Close the left nostril with your ring finger and breathe in through the right. Close the right, breathe out left. Breathe left. Close out right. In right. Close out left. In left. Close right. Last round. In right. Close out left. In left. Close right. And release. Noticing the sensations surrounding the nostrils. Now let your eyes flutter open. To build a little heat in the belly, the Agni fire, going to practice some Kapalabhati with cadence. So if you're unfamiliar with Kapalabhati, it's passive in-breath through the nose, forceful out-breaths in the belly. And it looks something like this. So we'll all begin with a nice full in-breath. And begin. Release. We feel the working of the belly, feeling a little bit hotter, a little bit of heat building up. And we want to balance that out with some Shitali breath. So Shitali breath is a cooling breath, balancing out our energies. So open the mouth, curl the tongue, and breathe in through a curled tongue. Hold at the top, close the mouth, exhale out the nose. 2 more rounds. Open, curl the tongue, breathe up. Hold, close the mouth, breathe out. Last one. Beautiful job. One more breath practice to do. Surya and Chandra Vedana, which is the inhaling only on one side. So beginning with our Surya Vedana, close off the left nostril, breathe in through the right, close off the right, breathe out left. Now close left, breathe in right, close right, breathe out left, close left, breathe in right, close right, breathe out left. And now for Chandra Vedana, breathe in through the left, close out right, close right, in left, close left, out right. One more, close right, in left, close left, out right. Keep the eyes closed, release the hands. Feel the effects of the breath practices on the body and the mind. We'll let our eyes open and start to worm into our joints. Beginning with some shoulder flossing. So reaching the arms out, the arms are nice and active. One palm is up and the other is down. And we're going to start to switch that, flipping from side to side. Now this is a little bit like an erotic dance. We feel the shoulders moving up and down in the back, one at a time. We feel the shoulders moving forward and retracting back in the front. We'll feel some work throughout the arms. So just do some rounds of this shoulder flossing, bringing some health and vitality to the shoulders. And release. Roll the shoulders a couple of times each direction just to keep tensions out. And with the neck, right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, gaze up, left, chest, right, up, right, chest, left, up, last time, left, chest, right, and up. Now come into a neutral position. Open up the hands, spread them nice and wide, and then squeeze in and open. So we're going to get really fast with this. So just gradually start to increase your speed and then get moving on it as fast as you're able to. We might feel this work a lot in our forearms, bringing some strength to the forearms that protects our hands and wrists. So we want to make sure that these joints are nice and warmed up. This has never been my favorite position here. It gets quite uncomfortable. And so just visit your happy place or whatever you need to do to kind of relieve that. No worries, it will be done in just a minute. Just really moving, flicking. Now, shake that out. Right? If you're sitting on a block like I am, take that out and set it to the side. Bring the feet out. We'll do a little bit of windshield wipering. Start to travel the knees from side to side. Warming into our joints of the hips. The next time you land over there to the right, stay there. Right ankle comes to the top of the left. Left hand to the right knee. We lift up and revolve, gaze back. Release, switching to second side, taking it over, left, right hand to the left knee, lift up and out, and revolve. Release, coming up, now Now transition onto your knees. So if you need to pad your knees, you can grab a little blanket or something there. But if it's, we won't be here terribly long, so if it's doable, tops of the feet are flat on the floor. Reach the arms out. We're going to work deeply, intensely into the thighs to really warm up. So lean back, keep the spine straight, and then come up and goddess arms. So lean back, goddess arms. Here's 3, 4. We'll do 2 more. And on that last one, you're going to hold back and hold there and breathe. So we can really feel the work in the thighs. And come up, nice little goddess position. Release the hands down, come on the toes, sit your hips back on your heels. Now, stretching out your toes every day is super important. So spread those toes, let the weight of the bum pressing into the heels. We'll feel a good deep stretch through the arches. The toes, as we get older, they start to curl in, and then that begins to be a problem because we lose our balance. So we want to keep those arthritic calcium deposits away from that as long as we possibly can. So starting, hopefully you have a lot of time left in your life to stretch out these toes, keeping and bringing health into the feet. A couple more breaths. Nobody's favorite one, this one. It's kind of like the hand flicking. You just endure going to your happy place. Now come back up, tops of the feet come onto the floor. Your right top of your foot is going to rest on the arch of the left, and then you sit back. Now for some of us this may feel like nothing, and others of us may feel like a lot. Particularly if you had plantar fasciitis, you might feel some of the effects of that. And also if you've worn a lot of high heels over your life, you can develop knots in the arch from those. And so this can help alleviate some of that as well. Now coming up and switching sides, you'll probably feel a difference between sides. One may be more intense than the other. So just finding a little bit of happy space here. Now lifting up, place your hands in front of your knees. You're sitting back on your heels again. A very, very modified Lolasana, because we're really thinking more about stretching through the ankles, but we'll also be activating shoulders and core. So keep the feet on the floor, press into the hands and lift the knees up, round the spine behind you. So we'll feel some core activation, shoulder activation, and we'll also stretch out the tops of the feet. And release. Great job. Coming on to all fours. Transition down to the belly. Hands are under the shoulders, but lift the hands off of the floor and lift and roll the shoulders back. Now keep the feet on the floor. If you don't go up very high, please don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. Everybody's spine is shaped a little differently. Now drop the hands down. Push up, round the spine to the sky, and shift back like you're going into child's pose, but then come right back up, right back down on that belly, tops of the feet press, roll the shoulders, lift the hands, and hold here for this cobra pose. Release, round that spine up again. Push back like you're going to go into child's. Roll the spine up to the sky again. And last one, coming down. And lift. Hands down. Lift up. And push back. Now come onto all fours. Wrists, shoulders, knees, and hips. We're going to move from neutral to cat pose. So in breath here in neutral, which means your palms are pressing in, your shoulders are lifting up, and your belly is tucked. Out breath, round the spine up toward the sky, chin toward chest. In breath into neutral. Out breath into cat. And one more of those. In breath neutral. Out breath, cat. Come into our neutral position, curl the toes, lift the knees up and push the hips back, but keep the knees bent. So we're coming into down dog with the knees bent. Your arms are straight, biceps are pulling in towards your ears, you're up off of your heels. We're feeling that lactic acid again building up in the thighs, really charging the thighs. Now straighten those legs, downward facing dog. You can pedal them out just to relieve any tensions. Now if we're working on jumping to the front but we feel clunky in it, let's help with that. So from our down dog, bend the knees, let the gaze go between the hands, and use momentum of feet to lift and lightly hop to the front. Half lift, out breath fold. Reach the arms up in the air on the inhale. Exhale down and release into our Tadasana. Tadasana is very active. This is a time where we can stack our ankles, our hips and shoulders. The feet can be together or they can be hip width apart, depending on how that feels in your body. Your belly is engaged, and you're engaged in Mula Bandha, which means pulling up through the perineum area. Women don't have perineums, but we're very familiar with that area. So pulling up, holding and breathing, really breathing through the belly. Finding that nice tall Tadasana. Working through 3 rounds of Sun A, Surya Namaskar A, and I'm going to give 3 different versions for the Chaturanga, starting with the easiest and leading into the most challenging. So you choose whatever you'd like to do for the remainder. In breath, the arms come up, gaze up with the thumbs. Out breath, arms down. Place the hands on the floor even if you need to bend the knees. Face goes toward the legs. In breath, half lift, hands, fingertips to the floor. You can slide your hands up the shins. And as you out breath, a step back into plank pose, and then knees, chest, and chin come down to the floor. Inhaling into a cobra pose. Exhaling up and back, down dog, hold here and breathe. Now in breath, come up high on the toes, bend those knees, let the gaze go between, just like before, and crouch and lift up, trying to land softly to the front. In breath, half lift. Out breath, fold. Inhaling, the arms come up. Exhaling, down. Our second version, and you can always go to the first one, so don't worry. In breath up. Out breath down. Remember, bend the knees if we need to. Palms flat on the floor, face toward the legs. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plank pose. Shift forward, pull the elbows in, the biceps in, and Chaturanga coming down halfway. Flip the toes. Lift up for upward facing dog. Back for downward and breathe. Exhale, look to the front, bend those knees, give a nice deep squat, lift up, light hop. In breath, half lift. Out breath, fold. In breath, arms up. Out breath, down, release. Now our last one is a jumping back, not jumping into plank, but jumping back straight into Chaturanga. So if you've done those before, you're working on them, feel free. If not, just take one of the other 2 options. In breath up, out breath fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands and take it back straight into Chaturanga. Inhaling up for upward facing dog. Back, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold here and breathe. Exhale. Bend those knees, nice deep squat and lift. Coming to the front, half lift. Out breath, fold. In breath, the arms lift and reach. Out breath, down and release. How'd you do? Wonderful. 3 rounds of Sun B, Surya Namaskar B. We're going to hold in those warrior ones. So we're not going to fly through anything. We're going to hold in the postures, learning to be steady and stable, learning to listen to our breath, and to calm our mind. So in breath, hips go back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Out breath, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale your choice of any of those 3 positions. In breath, upward facing dog. Out breath, down dog. Right foot steps to the front. The back heel spins open. And we hip space forward and rise up in our warrior one. Now we may feel crunchy in our neck here, so pull the shoulders down the back. You're bending that front knee up to 90 degrees and straightening the back leg. Next, exhale. Hands come down. Step back plank. Chaturanga. In breath, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Out breath, down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling, left foot steps to the front, back heel opens. Rise up. Same positioning, hips facing, arms reaching, shoulder blades pulling down, biceps rolling in, up to 90 degrees with the front thigh. Exhale, hands down, plank, chaturanga, in breath, out breath, hold and breathe. Come up high on those toes, look to the front. Step or hop to the front, in breath, half lift. Out breath to fold. Hips back, arms lift, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, release. 2 more rounds just like that. Inhaling back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. In breath up. Out breath back. Right foot steps to the front, back heel opens, rising up. Warrior one pose. Exhale, hands down, stepping back, chaturanga. In breath up. Out breath back, down dog. Left foot steps to the front. Open that back foot. Reach up. Exhale, hands down. Step back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, hold and breathe. Bend those knees. Step or hop to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. In breath, drops those hips. Out breath, release. 1 more round. Inhale back. Exhale, fold. In breath, half lift. Out breath, plank, chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling back. Right foot to the front. Rise up, breathe. Out breath, taking it down and back. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Left foot to the front. Open up, breathe. Exhale, take it back, go through the work. Downward facing dog, breathe. Exhale, bend those knees, light hop. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. In breath, drop those hips, reach up. Out breath, release. Beautiful job. Standing balances. We're going to work on King Dancer pose. So maybe stepping back a little bit in your space. Bringing the feet together. Now we're going to work through this slowly. And it might be just a little bit different than maybe sometimes you've done that in the past. Shifting the weight to the left foot. Pick up the right. Hold on to the inside arch with your right hand. And then draw the knee in line with the other knee. Reach the arm up in the air on the in-breath. Now start to push into that back hand. Push, push, push. And when you can't push anymore, travel forward. Keep your gaze looking forward to the horizon. Let your arm drop. So bring just to shoulder height so we can work a little bit more in the hip and the leg. So lifting, continuing to lift in that King Dancer pose. Keeping the belly nice and firm. And come up and release. Back into our Tadasana. How'd you do? Great, I'm sure. Second side. Now one side is more challenging than the other. Putting the weight to the right foot. Left foot comes in. Hold on to the inner arch. See how my knee is here? Pulling it back. Reaching the right arm up. Starting to kick into my hand. Shifting forward, letting the shoulder and wrist be in alignment. And work on that back leg. Reach, coming up, and release. Beautiful. Step the feet about mat width apart or a little less than that. Hands to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, clasp onto the big toes. Big toe hold, Padottanasana. In breath, half lift. Out breath, elbows out to the side, face toward the legs. So this is an inversion. The hips are lifting. Crown of the head down toward the floor. It'll calm us down a little bit from the work we've done thus far. Now come up into a half lift. Hold here for the exhale. Place the hands on the hips. Lift up and rise. If you've had to move away from the front of your mat, come back to it. We'll take a Sun A, landing in chair pose, working through a vinyasa, and then we'll do some long hold standing postures. In breath, lift up. Out breath, fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant those hands, stepping back plank, chaturanga, or knees just on shin. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Exhale, back. Bend those knees, look and jump to the front, half lift in breath. Out breath, fold. Drop the hips, chair pose, Utkatasana. Hold here and breathe. Weights in the heels. Your arms don't have to be high. They can be very high or more low, but make sure the weight is in the heels. Now straighten those legs, fold. In breath, half lift. Out breath, plank to chaturanga. In breath, up. Out breath, back. This will be very familiar. Right foot steps to the front. Back heel opens. We come into warrior one pose. Now your arms can stay apart. If you want to, you can make a little steeple. Hands and gaze come up. Now we're shift to the back. So straighten the front, keep your arms spinning to the back of your mat. Warrior one, gaze goes back up and breathe. In breath, come up, open the back foot completely, warrior two pose to the back. Now in your warrior two, front knee is coming toward that parallel position. Arms are reaching. One arm wants to either come forward or drop down, so try to get that really lifting out, and don't lean forward, but rest between the hips and let the gaze go over the front fingers. Inhale, and either exhale, bring the forearm down to the to the thigh, or bring the hand to the inside. Bring the back arm up to open the chest. Now listen, a couple of things. Don't let all your weight dump into the floor. So be light on the fingertips. If your arm is on your thigh, then lift up a little bit off of it and lightly rest it. Open that gaze. If it feels comfortable, then you can bring the hand down, move that arm to the front, and open up the chest. Now, hold this position, straighten that leg, triangle pose. Now bring your hand up a little bit more toward your shin. Reestablish the opening of the chest, and then either keep it there or you can travel it back down. But very often if we go too far, we end up rounding over. So it's better to be a little bit higher out of the chest and shoulder. Bend that knee for stability, coming up and switching second side. Right foot, warrior two. So get that nice deep bend. Reach, the back leg is working to straight, gaze and hold. Now long hold postures build a lot of muscle. It also works out a lot of tension. You can probably feel those shaking and quaking. Shaking, quaking can be good. So we're relieving pent up tensions in the muscles by good, strong work in the body. Now transitioning into our either arm down, reaching the arm up or over, or you can bring it to the inside. Now remember, if you come here, you might dump into the shoulder. So maybe just reach the arm straight up, come lightly on the fingertips, open the chest, and if it feels comfortable, circle that around and open the chest again. straighten that leg. Triangle, right? Come up a little bit. Maybe reach the arm and then come back over if that feels good. Bend that knee and side straddle. So get a comfortable position with the legs. You may be out too far right now. I was a little bit, so I heel toe in just a touch. All 10 toes are pointing forward. Hands to the hips. In breath. Out breath, forward fold. Crown of the head to or toward the floor. Hands release. Fingertips in line with the toes, or you can walk them back a little farther. Come up into a half lift. As we out breath, we fold. Crown of the head to or toward the floor. Breathe. Inhale and a half lift here. Hold for the exhale. Place the hands on the hips and rise up. Again, you may have to adjust if your feet slide on your mat. Padottanasana B. Hands stay on the hips. Pull the elbows a little bit back so they're not flaying out, but they're pointing more behind. In breath. Out breath. Hands stay on the hips. Fold and breathe. Now watch your feet. Are you leaning too far on the heels? Are you leaning too far on the toes? See if you can find a nice balance in this position. Inhaling, coming all the way up and readjust. Hands interlace behind the back. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold, reaching the arms any amount over. Don't strain. Engage the core deeply, rise back up, inhale. Exhale, release those hands. One more time on the hips. Last one, Padottanasana D. In breath. Out breath, fold, clasp onto the big toes with your thumb and first two fingers. In breath, half lift, lifting the chest. Out breath, fold, crown of the head to or toward the floor. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, hold. Hands to hips. Rise up, heel, toe those legs in. Stepping back to the front of the mat. Taking our practice down to the floor. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold. In breath into a half lift. Out breath, light step back, drop to knees, come down to the belly. Now bring the arms, elbows and shoulders in alignment. We're going to work from half bow into full bow. So shift weight to the right, bend your back left knee, clasp onto it with the left hand, flex the foot, square back, so drop the hip back to the floor, and push back, kicking back with that heel, reaching the chest up. And release. Another leg. Shifting over to the right, to the left hip, clasp onto the right ankle, hips back, square off and push that leg away. And release. Dropping down, make a little pillow. If it bothers your knees, just bend the knees. And bow pose. Reach back, clasp onto the ankles again. You can widen your knees if you want to. Flex the feet. Kick them back, lifting up the chest. Breathe. release. Push back, child's pose, rounding the spine. Coming up, move forward, lay on your back, but get your 2 blocks. So depending on your back flexibility, you want to be safe, right? So taking your blocks, maybe on the medium setting to start, and bring them together. So they're not going to be separate, they'll be together. So lay down, lift the hips, place those blocks underneath the back side of the hips, supported bridge pose. So the medium setting gives some height. We can relax here, feeling the belly working. Now if you feel like you can go higher, then do, but please don't overdo. Don't overstrain the back. So if it feels like it's right in the body, you can come up on the toes, flip those blocks, make sure they're pushed together on the highest setting, and then just let the hips rest under. Roll your shoulders underneath and just relax into the block. So as we relax into the block, we're going to feel the gravitational push into the belly and the chest. So we can get nice, deep work in the lower spine, lumbar spine. If this strains at all, don't do it. Just do in a modified version, or just place the back on the floor and bend the knees, soles of feet to the floor. Protect the body that you've been gifted. A few more breaths here, really relaxing in. So this is a bit of a restorative position. Now push into the feet, take the blocks out, just set them off to the side for the moment. Bring the knees in toward the chest, rocking a little from side to side. We're going to work into the core now, so if you know that your back is weak, then I want you to put your hands underneath the hips. So either hands underneath the hips or not, reaching those legs up in the air, and you're pointing your toes, trying to get your ankles and hips in alignment. In breath, out breath, the right leg goes down to hover and it comes back up. Now move with your breath 4 more times with that leg. One more for 5. Right away, left leg. And one more for that leg. Bring those knees in, rock from side to side if that feels good. Really releasing any kind of tensions out of that spine. You can rock a little forward and back without using momentum, just rocking, massaging the spine. We'll repeat that, but we'll use both legs instead of one individually. So it's very important for you to support your spine. If you don't have any kind of issues in your back, you don't want to create one, right? So the safest is to place the hands under the hips. If you're super strong in the core and know that's not going to be an issue, then feel free to not place your hands underneath there. But reaching those legs up, in breath, out breath, let them lower and hover, in breath up. And make sure the belly is tucked, so don't let that belly poke out. In the down part, you have to pull it all the way back. Here's 5, so we'll do 5 more, total of 10. with that breath. And one more. Bring the knees in, let the soles of the feet come together, the knees out to the sides. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly position. Just relax for a bit. Now keep your right leg where it is. Bring your left shin in and give it a good little squeeze, just relieving tension. Place it back into the butterfly. And then the right knee comes in, squeezing. Place it back in the butterfly. And now both knees in to squeeze. So it's time for inversions. I would like for you to do shoulder stand, moving into plow. But guess what? If those aren't doable for you, it's perfectly fine. I have some modifications. So waterfall is good instead of shoulder stand. That's taking the block or brick on the lowest setting, placing your hips under, and then just reaching your legs up like we did just a moment ago in our core work. You can also roll the shoulders. You can hold here if you want to. If you think that's good, but you need a little more, then you can do supported shoulder stand by flipping that brick or block to the medium setting, taking the legs up and rolling your shoulders even deeper and holding in this position. You'll have the chest lift here, really reaching. Or you can come in to full shoulder stand, which is reaching those legs forward, walking the hands up the back of the spine, getting very tall and straight. So we'll hold and breathe. Now moving into plow pose, just taking those legs back like they're going over your head. Now some people can just get part of the way and then support, and that's perfectly fine. Others may be able to put the toes on the floor. If your toes easily reach the floor, you want to walk the toes in and flex the feet. Notice when you flex, see how straight the spine gets, and we hold here and breathe. Either way, your feet don't have to be on the floor. Don't force it. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure on your neck. But your shoulders and the back of your head, the occipital bone, is really taking the brunt of the weight. Notice your breath in plow. Release, do a slow roll, place your hands on the floor, start to roll the bum down. If your block is there, you can move that out of the way and just release. And knees into chest. So we're going to take a supported fish pose to really open up the breath. I'm going to show you 3 different options. So rolling, don't ever raise up. Roll one side or the other. Use your hands to press yourself up. So one version is using your 2 blocks, and I have 2 different places that you can put that. Taking your 2 blocks for a little bit less intensity, then you'll take your block, place it for your head on the medium setting, and your short edge of your brick will be perpendicular to the long edge, so that's the lowest position. Sitting in front of that, take the bottom of the scapula is going to be at the edge, this edge that's closest to you on the block. You can keep your knees bent and the head is supported by the brick. You can keep knees bent, or if it's comfortable, you can straighten the legs. This is the very modified version, but if you feel something, then please do that one. And show you the second version. It's my little dog Daisy. You can bring it on the medium section, turn it to where the long edge is perpendicular to the long edge of your mat, and hey baby, And then this other one, I'm getting back here, this other one is on the top position. That brick is going to go between your shoulder blades, and then the head rests back here. So this is a little bit more intense. Hello, baby girl. Hello. Hey, sweet girl. I'm sorry, I love my dogs. I've got 2 of them. This is my sweet little baby. She wants some attention. So forgive me, but I won't deny it. Now this is the second version. Roll off again if you want to see the third one. You take your blocks off and get your bolster. With the bolster parallel to the long edge, you scoot your hips up to the back of it and then just relax on it and open up. Now it depends on how thick your bolster is. This is fairly thin, so it's not super challenging, but it's very comfortable. Just holding here. I believe I'm going to switch to the medium setting just so I can get the fullness of the support. So we want to feel the challenge in the shoulders. Now, for lack of a better term, if it feels skeevy on the back, like it's hitting a nerve, then you're probably not in proper alignment. So you can move up or down on that block that's on your backside, however it feels best. So supported fish. In this medium position here, if you want to, you can even drop that block down to the medium setting and opening up the throat more. But if this is too intense on the neck, then we don't do it that way. We just hold here and breathe. Now remember, you don't raise up, you roll off of your props for safety. And we'll come into a very relaxed forward fold. So it's going to be more like a yin posture. Hey, Zowie. Reach your legs on and just relax them. So in an active class, usually your legs are very engaged in this forward fold, but you're going to be very relaxed. You're just going to round the spine over. Your body can just float above. If you have a lot of flexibility, then you can lay your chest down on your legs. Just don't work for that and don't strain for that. Breathe, relax. You'll feel some stretch in the lower back, also in the hamstrings. Roll up, get your bolster, lay back down on your back, bring the bolster between your knees, pick up your butt, set it a little bit more over to the left, and then just let your knees roll to the right, get your chest open to the sky. So supported supine twist. Making our way toward our Shavasana. Bringing those knees back up, you'll shift your hips toward the right and let your knees fall to the left. Chest is open, make sure both shoulder blades are on the floor. So we want to make sure the chest is open. You're not rolling the shoulders with the bolster. out. And then coming into our final relaxation, our Shavasana. So making sure that we're in a comfortable position. I like to imagine that I'm standing outside of my body looking down. So my soul maybe is left for a moment and just looking down over my body. I'm looking for anything that's asymmetric. So maybe one hip is higher than the other, so I'll adjust that a little bit. You can really look down and see what might need to be adjusted in the body. Once I'm satisfied, you can just relax into the floor, relaxing the feet and the ankles, relaxing the calves and the shins, the buttocks, the hips, and the lower belly, relaxing the fingers, the palms, the forearms, biceps and triceps, relaxing the shoulders and the chest and the upper belly. Relax the space around the ribs. Relax the neck and the jaw. Let the tongue pull away from the roof of the mouth and rest lightly behind the front teeth. Relax the muscles surrounding the jaw. Relax the eyes and their sockets. Relax the space between the brows and the space in the forehead. Relax completely into the floor. Surrender and let go. Start to deepen your breath, wiggling fingers and toes, bringing some movement back into the body. When ready, making your movements larger, perhaps overhead stretches, maybe bringing knees into chest. These are just suggestions, maybe rocking from side to side. Roll over on your right side, make a little pillow with your arms. Use your hands to press yourself up into an easy seated position. Easy Sukhasana, adept pose, half lotus or lotus. Just finding a nice tall spine. Rolling the shoulders back, perhaps bringing thumb and index finger together, Gana Mudra. Rolling the shoulders back, closing the eyes. Be present. Bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at the chest, closing with mantra, followed again by 3 Oms. Om Savasham Swastir Bhavatu, Savasham Shantir Bhavatu, Savasham Punam Bhavatu, Savasham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere be healthy, happy, at peace, traveling through life and reaching out or recognizing God or auspiciousness. Take a nice in-breath. To one another, we can say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again.